Hi, my name is Joseph. This is the corresponding video to the weight bias assignment. And in this video, I am covering the case study that has to do with Louis Ballenger. He is the patient that presents with lymphedema and wound care. In this video, we're going to be going over whether or not weight bias is present and who demonstrated that weight bias. We are then going to move on to how we would address that weight bias and any recommendations we have for the person that demonstrated it. And then finally, we're going to be wrapping up by going over how to counsel Mr. Ballenger in areas that we would like to focus on. So to start, there definitely is weight bias present in this case study. If you go to the history and physical note, this is a note written by Mr. Richard Chamberlain, MD. The doctor used the term obese, morbidly obese, and also had a quote stating that the problem is certainly exacerbated by his weight, talking about the client, Louis Ballenger. So why is this weight bias? This is weight bias because of the language that the doctor is using. So instead of saying obese or morbidly obese, we kind of want to shift that into first-person language, which is patient with obesity. So you don't want to identify Mr. Ballenger by saying obese or morbidly obese. For the quote is weight bias because the way that the doctor words it kind of makes it sound like the primary issue is the patient's weight when it's not. Louis Ballenger came in because of the lymphedema and because of wound care, not because of his weight. So moving on, how do we address this weight bias? So this is something that can be handled with a simple one-on-one conversation with the doctor. In this case, you once again would go over the language that the doctor used in that note. Now, in the section before this, I brought up the term first-person language. There is a wonderful article written by let me make sure I say the names right here, written by a Kendrin Sunville and a Catherine Bauer, both of whom, my apologies, are assistant professors at the University of Michigan. They wrote an article titled 3 Ways Public Health Professionals Can Combat Weight Stigma. In that article, they mention the use of language, how changing the language can help to prevent weight bias. I believe the example I gave before for first-person language is instead of saying obese or morbidly obese, in this case, we would say person with obesity so that we don't identify Mr. Ballenger by his weight. And finally, how do we counsel Mr. Ballenger? So the way that we would go about this is by looking at the case study. There is plenty of evidence to suggest that Mr. Ballenger is pretty high up on the stages of change and is open to education. He's open to learning, which is great. So the primary focus that we want to have to start is to just make sure that he recovers okay from that wound drainage. I'm talking about making sure that he is hydrated, making sure that his electrolytes are balanced, and making sure that he is eating lean protein and fiber along with antioxidants, so that that should help the swelling, and healthy fats, all of that to help with the healing as those wounds, after they're drained, they close up. Secondly, as I stated earlier, Mr. Ballenger is eager to learn, is open to nutrition education, and this would be an excellent time to ask him if he's open to learning about, or going over a meal plan to help him with his lymphedema while he's at home. Looking at the notes, he's quit smoking, limits alcohol intake, and if you look at the 24-hour recall, we're talking about the use of skim milk, eating bananas. It's the 24-hour recall, in my opinion, looks like somebody that is trying to do better in the decisions that they make in terms of what food they're selecting, but just doesn't quite seem to know how to get to their goal. So asking Mr. Ballenger if he's interested in nutrition education for his lymphedema might be something that that would be beneficial for him. And that's it. Thank you very much.